everyone, I hope you're having a great day today. Before we get straight into the video, it would be great if you could subscribe to this channel, like this video, and share. Without further ado, let's get straight into the tutorial. Next, I'll be showing you my canvas size, stabilizer size, and all the brush and the settings needed to be made before we get into the video. Here are the brush QR codes that I will be using later. Now, after creating our line art, we will be opening the layer window. Here, we will be adding a new layer. We will be pressing these 3 bars beside the new layer to drag it below the line art we have made. Next thing I'll do here is I will close the layer window. I'll be using the bucket tool to color the base color of the hair. Since the hair color is going to be white, I will use a light blue color for the base color of the hair. If you're done with that, we will be adding another new layer. I'll use this layer to color the base color for the ears. I'll be choosing light blue for the base color of the ear because I want the ears to be white as well. I will also be coloring some darker parts of the ears. I will also color the ribbons with a darker color. Normally, the brush I use for the base color is pen fade, but generally it's optional. Now, let's open the brush window. This time, we will be using round brush particle. Next, we will be selecting the eyedropper tool from the toolbar. Using the eyedropper, select the base color of the hair. After this, we will make the color slightly darker. After selecting a slightly darker color, we will be opening the layer window again. After opening the layer window, select the layer with the base color of the hair. We will be adding another layer on top of the base color of the hair. Next, we will be clipping the layer. Next thing we will do is we will click normal on the bottom right corner of the screen. Choose blending mode multiply. Now, let's close the layer window and begin shading the edges of the hair. Keep in mind that we are still using round brush particle for this one. If you are done with this, we will be opening the layer window again. Select the clip layer with the shading we did earlier. We will be adding a new layer above it. Next, we will be clipping the new layer again. Go to normal at the bottom right of your screen. On the blending mode, select blending mode multiply. Down here, there is the opacity slider. We will be using this for this layer. Drag it down to about 50%. Next, we will be shading the hair again, but now we will be shading the middle parts of the hair. Also, keep in mind that we're still using round brush particle. Now, this part is going to be a little time consuming since my method of hair shading is going to be detailed. For this part, I highly recommend you to use stylus for the shading. If you're done with this step, we will be opening the layer window again. Select the layer that is clipped and have 50% opacity. We will add another new layer above this layer. Like the previous layers, we will be clipping this one too. Change the opacity to about 70%. Now, go to the bottom right of your screen and click normal. Change the blending mode to multiply. This process will be similar to the shading like we did before. Except for now, we will just shade the darker parts at the edges of the hair. The purpose of the shading is to add more volume to the hair. You can see here that it looks a little bit more 3D now. If you're done with this step, you can open the layer window again. Select the topmost clip layer. We will be merging all the layers down by clicking the Merge Layer Down button. And now, we have one layer for the hair. Press the 3 bars on the right of the hair layer and drag it to the top. Then, we will be adding a new layer on top of the hair layer. Close the layer window and we will be shading the strands of the hair. Make sure that the brush size is on 2.8 pixels. Again, it's going to take some time to shade the strands one by one. But you can also see that the hair shading is starting to look more realistic than last time. I will be using this color for shading the first parts of the strands. If you're done with this, we will be opening the layer window again. We will be selecting the topmost layer. After doing that, we will be adding another layer. Let's close the layer window and open the color window instead. Adjust the color so it will be lighter than the previous one. Now, let's start shading the hair strands. Also, make sure that the brush size is smaller than the previous one. Once we're done with this, we will be opening the layer window again. Just like before, we will be selecting the topmost layer, which after that, we will proceed to add another new layer on top of this layer. After that, we will be closing the layer window. You can also reduce your brush size if you want. Next, let's open the color window and make the color slightly lighter. With all of that over with, let's start reshading our hair for one last time. You can see here that it looks a lot more detailed now. If you're done with that, let's open the layer window again. Select the topmost layer. After that, click merge layer down 3 times. You now have one full layer for the hair. Without further ado, here are the results.